Good afternoon, VC. Dave here. Got a lot of records to show today. Got some VCLT to show today, and a good stack of records from a trip down to Savannah, Georgia. So I'm going to jump right in. First, I want to thank Robert Burns. Sent me a VCLT package. Absolutely amazing. It's the first that I've gotten. It's what the vinyl community is all about. It's just a wonderful package. In the package was Tina Brooks' True Blue on Blue Note, 75th anniversary pressing. Absolutely gorgeous record. I actually had not heard this. I've been on the look for a lot of Tina Brooks since I did not have any in my collection. Spun this a couple of times now. Absolutely gorgeous record. Freddie Hubbard is at his absolute finest on this, and Tina's sound is just so smooth, so underrated as a saxophone player during this time period. Absolutely wonderful record. Highly recommended. Thanks again to Robert. And also in that VCLT package was a CD, the Delvin Lamar Organ Trio, Close But No Cigar. This is a soul jazz group out of Seattle, Washington. This is on the Coal Mine Records label, I believe out of Ohio. This is excellent stuff. I've been jamming in this in the car since I got it in that package. It's not leaving the vehicle for a while. This reminds me a lot of Menahan Street Band. Just add some extra organ, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is really good. You can also get this on LP, according to Robert, and recommend it as well. So thanks again. Just a wonderful VCLT package, and we'll definitely return the favor as soon as possible. So the next stack of records I'm going to show, had recently went down to Savannah, Georgia. I always dip into Grayface Records. If you're ever there, definitely get into their shop. They're going to be opening a second location in the south side of town soon as well. But they always have a ton of jazz, stuff I'd never expect to run across. They recently purchased a collection out of Tennessee, about 100,000 records, I guess the owner told me, and they periodically take trips up there to obviously grab as much as they can to bring back for the shop. There's supposed to have been a lot of jazz in that. Actually, there wasn't too much as they had thought, but I've still found a lot of good things. So the first record I ran across at Grayface, Art Blakey and the New Jazz Messengers. This is Buttercorn Lady. This is a live performance. This is a white label promo on the Limelight label. This was live at the Lighthouse, which is a famous venue out in Hermosa Beach, California. This is a gorgeous package, mint condition. This is I believe, 66 original. Absolutely great record to add to the Art Blakey collection. The next record from Grayface, Paul Chambers, First Baseman. This is a 1960 original press, still in the shrink, on VJ Records. Just spun this the other night. Well, this is killer stuff. If you run across this record from Paul, definitely pick this up. The next record from that dig, the Joe Henderson Sextet, The Kicker. I'd never seen this record before. This is on the Milestone label. It's an original. You've got Gretchen Moncour III on trombone on here. Ron Carter on bass, Louis Hayes on drums. Kenny Barron on piano, and Mike Lawrence, rare appearance on trumpet, and he did not play for all that long, so this is a nice record to have with him on it. The next record from the Gray Face Dig, Elvin Jones, Polycurrents on Blue Note. This is an original press, I believe from 1970. I was playing a few records the other day, threw this on. This is intense, and I had to take a time out after spinning this. My brain was done. This is that badass. This is a showstopper. Seek this one out immediately. Also, in that dig, found this record, Jackie McLean featuring Dexter Gordon, The Source, Volume 2. This is on, let's see, the Steeplechase label. They put out a lot of good records on that label during that time, both Jackie and Dexter. So this was a nice one to have with both of them on it. And the next record, and this one was, I think, $5. McCoy Tyner, Atlantis. It's a double LP. I believe this is on the Milestone label. Classic McCoy Tyner from this time period. Absolutely amazing stuff. So that was what I had found there on Friday, and then Saturday mornings they put out 300 plus used records every week. So I had to go back, obviously, and I found just a couple more. I found Rollins Plays for Bird on Prestige. This is a 70s reissue. The original has a really nice cover with artwork, I believe from the 50s, and this is one of my favorite Sonny Rollins records. The Bird medley, side 1 is 26 plus minutes of Charlie Parker tunes all melted together. It's fantastic. You got Max Roach on drums on this, Kenny Dorham on trumpet. This one doesn't pop up very much, so had to snag this. And then the last record from the Savannah dig, the Stanley Cowell Trio Illusion Suite, original on ECM. This is from '73. This is really good. Stanley plays piano. Just your bass trio here. Beautiful record. All right. So I've got a big stack of records here that I've found recently, so I'm just gonna try to rip through these, try to keep the videos short as I can. Hit up the dollar bin at a record store I hadn't been in the area. Found this is really cool. I believe this is from '69. It's original, the Easy Rider soundtrack. You've got Jimi Hendrix on this. You've got some classic Steppenwolf on this. The Byrds. This is a killer record for $1. Just found this today. This is The X. This is 3 Peel sessions that were recorded in the 80s. This was released in '88 on X Records. This is Hands Up You're Free. Love the cover on this. The X is a wicked punk group. I've been playing for many, many years. And I got to see them in Spain, so I've been grabbing anything of theirs I've seen since. Just awesome stuff. Also picked this up today. This was released yesterday. Sun Ra of Abstract Dreams. This is on Art Yard, who does a great job on these Sun Ra releases. And this is beautiful stuff. This is from, I believe, 74, 75 radio sessions in Philadelphia from that time. So this is just out. So definitely go and pick this up. Next record, I found this for $5. Max Roach +4. This is Moon-Faced and Starry-Eyed. You've got Abby Lincoln singing a few tracks on this. This is a 1960 original stereo on Mercury. Next record I found this morning at a pop-up. And I don't buy a lot of this stuff, but I grew up with it, so happy to find some of this. Rush, Permanent Waves. This is a 1980 original on Mercury. One of my favorite Rush records, easily. Some great tracks on here. Jacob's Ladder is badass. Also found this today. Yusef Lateef, Morning, the Savoy Sessions. So this is some of the earliest recordings that Yusef Lateef did in New York in the 50s. And this was released, I think, in '76. This is a dual LP. Love Yusef Lateef. He's becoming one of my favorites. Everything I've gotten of his is unbelievable. You've got Curtis Fuller on trombone on this, Louis Hayes on drums. Just this wonderful stuff. Next record came from Premium Sound, one of my local pop-up guys, and one that I'd been looking for in any form for a while. This is One Step Beyond by Jackie McLean on Blue Note. Gretchen Moncourt III on trombone on this. Of course, Jackie on alto, Bobby Hutcherson on vibes, Eddie Kahn on bass, and Tony Williams on drums. One of my favorites of Jackie's. This is really, really killer stuff. Next record, I've still got to delve into. Just picked this up recently. This is J-Jazz, deep modern jazz from Japan, 1969 to 1984. This is a wonderful comp that's been put together. This is from the Barely Breaking Even label, the UK. And there's a track on here, and I've been looking for Teramaso Hino records. Only found maybe 3 or 4. And there's a track on here that's on a rare one of his records. It's Teramaso Hino meets Reggie Workman, Ode to Workman. So really stoked to have this right here and looking forward to spinning this quite a bit. There's a lot of different artists on this, and it's probably going to take me down some new avenues. So definitely pick this up if you see it. The next record is a rare one. My local shop, Repo, got in and just really hooked me up on this one. I thought the guy working there was going to pick it up because he was spinning it while I was in there digging, and I asked him what it was, and he showed me the record. I said, "Oh, are you going to put this out?" And he said, "Yeah, maybe." And then so I texted him the next day, and he said, "Yeah, Jimmy said come down and get it." So I went down and got it. This is Buster Williams, Pinnacle. This is an original. You've got Woody Shaw on trumpet on this, and Sonny Fortune on this as well, playing soprano sax. This is killer. Yeah, this is on Muse, and if you see this, grab it. It's pretty rare. I think there was only one on the internet for 100 or more. Stoked to find this here locally. Next record, I think I pulled it out of the back wall there when they were playing the Buster Williams. Stan Getz and Bill Evans, and this is on the Verve label, and this is previously unreleased recordings, and it was really cheap. It might have been $4 or $5. This is awesome stuff from these guys. Awesome stuff. Yeah, grab this if you see it. Heck, it might even be in your dollar bins. Next record is an absolute masterpiece, and one I was able to get from Carolina Soul, which is one of our greatest record stores down here in North Carolina. They're in Durham. They do their auctions right on eBay. Everything starts at $6. Everything. And they'll put up a couple thousand records at a time, and I don't know where they find these jazz collections. These just massive stacks of just rare stuff. But last auction I was able to score this for an amazing price. Pharoah Sanders Themby. This is an original on Impulse. This is a masterpiece. That's all that can be said. Also in that auction, picked up a stereo copy. This is pretty old. Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers with Thelonious Monk. So I was really stoked to add this to the Art Blakey collection. Next record I think also came in that auction. Miles Davis Volume 1, some early Miles stuff. You've got J.J. Johnson on trombone on this, who I absolutely love. I do not have Volume 2 yet. I have a comp that has both volumes on it, so I do have the music, but still looking for Volume 2 on Blue Note to complete this. The next record came from Graveface in Savannah. They actually shipped me this one. This is fairly rare for a reissue. Miles Davis, The Beginning. This was originally put out, it was called The Musings of Miles. So I believe this is a 62 press. I could be wrong, but this is Red Garland, Oscar Pettiford, and Philly Joe Jones with him. This is fantastic early Miles recording. The next record was one that was recommended highly to me by Seth Nana, the drummer from the group Ghost Trees, a free jazz group from here in Charlotte. They're an amazing group. So if you get a chance to check out Ghost Trees, definitely check them out if you're into free jazz. This is Sam Rivers Contours on Blue Note. This is a pretty hard record to find in any form. This is a reissue. Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Herbie Hancock on piano, Ron Carter on bass, and Joe Chambers on drums. Just a superstar lineup. Can't go wrong with this record. Next record, who I recently just got into, more of the fusion sound. This is Hal Galper, Inner Journey. This is on Mainstream Records. It's an original. I've got a couple other Hal Galper records, and it's all amazing stuff. Definitely check this guy out. Next record, it's an original pressing on Blue Note of Ornette Coleman, The Empty Foxhole. He's got his son playing drums on this, and Charlie Hayden on bass. It's a fairly underrated recording of Ornette's, and you got to be into the free jazz, but this is accessible. This is a great record. The next record is one I was really happy to find. Elvin Jones, Live at the Village Vanguard on the Enya label. This is a white label promo original. You got George Coleman on tenor, Wilbur Little on bass, and Marvin Peterson on trumpet. This is a really cool record. Don't even recall how I found it. Next record, this is one that came from Dusty Groove up in Chicago. Been having some pretty good luck finding some really cool stuff from them. This is Bill Evans at the Montreux Jazz Festival. This is an original promo. Just, man, Bill Evans is good. Just so damn good on the piano. what more can I say? This is just something you sit back and chill to after a day of work. Unbelievable record. Next record, one you pull out of the dollar bins, but is still great. The Dave Brubeck Quartet, Time Further Out. Don't need to say much about that. Next record, a lot of guys I've talked to have this as one of their Desert Island records. Andrew Hill, Point of Departure on Blue Note. Amazing lineup here. Eric Dolphy on alto, Kenny Dorham on trumpet, Joe Henderson on tenor, Richard Davis on bass, Tony Williams again on drums, and of course Andrew Hill on piano, who's on fire. Amazing record. This was an interesting find. The Mastery of John Coltrane Volume 1, Feeling Good, promo copy, double LP. Some standards on here. Just a cool record to add to the Coltrane collection. The next record is a wonderful avant-garde record, and a really good one if you haven't delved into avant-garde jazz to start with, to be honest. Wayne Shorter, The All-Seeing Eye. This is very different and just a killer lineup, and just stands the test of time. This is awesome. Definitely check this out. You've got Herbie Hancock on piano, Ron Carter on bass, Joe Chambers on drums. Rare appearance from Wayne's brother Alan Shorter on flugelhorn. He rarely shows up. Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, and of course Wayne on tenor. This is really cool. Keeping with the Blue Note theme, got a sealed copy of Joe Henderson, Inner Urge, another intense record. McCoy Tyner on piano, Bob Crenshaw on bass, and Elvin Jones on drums. Yeah. Next record, found in a new store here in the area. Thelonious Monk plays Duke Ellington, some early Monk here. This is an OJC on Riverside. Was really happy to find this. This is one I'd never seen before out in the wild, so grabbed that. And then when we were out that way, we went to a antique place. It was just an old mill. They turned it into a humongous antique place, and they actually had a lot of records in there. I didn't find hardly anything, but I did find this one record. Eric Dolphy in Europe, Volume 3, original promo on Prestige, so I was really stoked to find this. This came from a dollar bin, Stan Getz in Concert. This is on the Pickwick label. Very straightforward Stan Getz right here. Next record is a group that I heard with the great trumpet player Ted Curson on an album Pop Wine, and sought this record out as a result. The George Arvanites Trio in Concert. This is an original French pressing. I believe it's on the Futura label. These guys are intense. This is amazing. Check this guy's stuff out. More Blue Note records here, of course. The Horace Silver Quintet featuring J.J. Johnson, the Cape Verdean Blues. An amazing record from Horace Silver. Woody Shaw, also on this on trumpet, and Joe Henderson on tenor. Yeah, all these Blue Note records are just unreal. I found this record on the same day I grabbed the Horde of Silver and was really stoked because it had just come in used. And I have Volume 2 and I needed Volume 1, and here it is, A Date with Jimmy Smith, Volume 1. Some of my favorite sessions of Jimmy. You got Donald Byrd on trumpet, Lou Henderson on alto, Hank Mobley on tenor, Eddie McFadden on guitar, and you've got Art Blakey and Donald Bailey on drums on this. Finally got this set complete. Next record is fairly rare for what it is, and again, Dusty Groove in Chicago, I have to thank for this one. Also on Blue Note, Eric Dolphy, Other Aspects. I think this came out in '87 maybe, and this is some rare recordings from his private collection, and I mean, they don't even know who some of the players are on this in the notes, in the liner notes, so really, really love Eric Dolphy, so I was happy to add this to the collection. The next record is the Black Lion label. They do a great job putting out a lot of rare recordings, usually on Record Store Day. This is Dexter Gordon, Both Sides of Midnight. Just love his tone, love his playing. I grab anything I see of his that I don't have. The next record is a rare one, and I was really happy to get this. This is Arthur Blythe, The Grip. This is a live performance in New York in 1977. Seen a lot of guys in the VC show this record. Never really thought I'd ever run across one, especially at the price I got it for. I think it was $40. So very, very stoked to have this. This is from some guys out in Portland, Records by Mail. This was recommended by Egon, and stoked to have it. And last but not least, original pressing of Miles Davis collector's item. This is some early Miles collector's items. You've got Sonny Rollins and Charlie Parker on side 1 with Miles, and then on side 2 you got Paul Chambers on bass, Sonny Rollins on tenor. More classic Miles, and I think that does it for me today. I hope everybody's doing well, and keep digging, folks. Have a great one. Peace.